Hello! Today we're going to be earthing up potatoes. Now this is the kind of job which it doesn't really matter whether you do it or not. There's lots of dispute as to whether or not to earth up your potatoes. There are, however, 3 good reasons for making the extra effort. If you're growing new potatoes, then it's a good idea to draw the earth up around the stems because you're planting them quite early in the year and they're very susceptible to late frosts. So if you draw the earth up around their stems, that protects them from that frost and means that they don't get quite so damaged. Second reason, quite often with a crop like this, you'll get some potato tubers forming quite close to the surface. If they break the surface of the soil, that means that the light falls on them, they turn green and poisonous, and of course that's lost crop. Now earth them up, bring all that soil up around the stems, and you bury those surface tubers much deeper, away from the light, and of course bump up your harvest. While we're on about bumping up your harvest, this also helps to increase your yield simply by covering the stems with soil, and that means that they form further roots on those stems, and of course further roots, further tubers, and a better harvest. So it really is worth it, and it's a pretty simple job. All you need is a hoe. This is a potato hoe. You can see it's got a very broad blade, absolutely ideal for this job, but to be honest you can use anything with a fairly broad base. Now dig your blade quite deeply into the soil and simply pull up the soil around the stems of your potatoes. You can pull them up quite high. In the case of new potatoes, bury all but the very, very topmost leaves. As you can see, I'm heaping them right up here. The idea is that eventually you'll end up with a trench on one side of the potatoes and a big heap, big mound in the middle. Once you've done one side, cross over to the other and do it the other way as well, so that you earth up on both sides of the potato. Don't worry if you do a little bit of damage while you're at it. The odd leaf snapped here and there, it'll grow back. Now this is about maybe 6 weeks after I've planted these potatoes. With new potatoes you might start a bit earlier, just as soon as they're showing a decent amount of growth, and keep them earthed up all the way through that early part of the season. But this is just going to need to repeat maybe once more later in the season, and that's it until harvest. Hopefully bumper crop.